Good morning and welcome to the Retirement Railroad 2.0. I'm Steve and this is another edition of Workbench Wednesday, episode 55. All right, today I want to talk about 3D printing. It's all the rage. So much so that I succumbed to pressure and went out and bought myself a small resin printer, an Anycubic Mono 4. Now it's not set up to do big projects, but as far as detail work goes, vehicles, things of that nature, it's perfect and cheap. The printer listed for $189 plus the washer, a 4 quarts or pints or whatever, 4 canisters of resin, an extended warranty, and it was all for $408. Now it's not cheap, but for a printer, a resin printer, it's somewhat affordable. And let's take a look at alternatives. Now, if you follow along, previous Workbench Wednesdays had to deal with 3 Autoracks, 2 bi-levels, which each hold 10 cars, all right, a tri-level that holds 15 cars, plus I had 2 more bi-levels that were not kits, they're Genesis in boxes. So that is, if we take 4 times, what is it, 4? That's 40, all right? Yeah, 40 cars just for the bi-levels, plus 15 more for the tri-level, right? We're looking at 55 cars. Now, 55 cars, if I was to go out and buy those 55 die-cast cars at $15 a piece, which is kind of the going price now, that's $750. All right, now I can take the $408 I have invested, which also included an extended warranty on the printer, and buy paint, more resin if I want, well, let's just use an example here, shall we? I've been printing for the last 2 days, and I've printed, I think there's 51 cars here. Okay. Mercury Cougars, 10 of those. All right. 10 Oldsmobile Starfires, 10 '69 Dodge Chargers, 10 Chevy pickup trucks, and there is 11 good Daytona Chargers. Now you look over here, all right, and there's a few more, and that's what I wanted to talk about, things to watch out for. And I can't talk to every resin printer. The Mono 4 has a removable build plate, and you pull it off and then you scrape off your models, come off like this. And this is about as many as you can get on one build plate. So the build plate's about like that, you know. If you don't get the nut tightened back down, okay, you'll have a misprint, and it can look something like this. All right. And if you look at it, one way, or look at it from this direction perhaps, you can see that it flares up and anyway, it's no good. So these here are no good and can go in the trash. All right, along with the extra parts that go with it. Okay, there is one, I can probably save some of the tires and one of the inner chassis on it. But all the rest, and then this one, when I set up the plate All right, you set up one at a time, and then you copy paste as many as you want can get onto the build plate. Well, I didn't do it right because I had the tires. I had them overlapping, and the software that comes with the Anycubic Photon Mono 4 will tell you when this is bad. It'll show red, but I wasn't paying attention. So anyway, so those are things to watch for. Make sure the build plate is tightened down all the way, and if you're scraping off the models off the build plate, make sure when you scrape it off that none of the little support pieces go flying into the resin tray, because then the build plate cannot come down all the way. All right, that will create an error as well. Ask me how I know. What are some other aspects of it? Oh, you get involved and you forget to do one little thing. If you do not add the supports, which are all these little things here, it will result in a wafer of the model, like the bottom plate here. That's what it'll look like. So you need to make sure you add the supports. No supports, no bueno. Okay, so now what are we going to do next here? We got all of these cars or vehicles, because I do have some pickup trucks back here. And all of these were free downloads from Thingiverse, Cult, and Maker Pro. So I didn't pay anything for any of the downloads. There's plenty out there that require payment for the files. And what I did to be able to get to this stage, in the software, in the Anycubic software, you can resize the model.
I found this on the web.
You can resize the download one of two ways. Either as a percentage, up or down, of what the model was done at, or by dimensions. So what I did for all of these is I went in and got the real prototype dimensions for each one of these vehicles. And then I put the height, width, and length, and put those into a spreadsheet. And then I converted that to metric. From there, I also, on the spreadsheet, went from the inches of the prototype down into 1/87th scale. And ExactRail has a spreadsheet, and I'll put all these links included in the more that you can use to take the real dimensions. You plug them in at ExactRail conversion scale converter, and you can get what they are, how many inches they are in, or metric. You get what the metric are in 1/87th scale. So all of that I put into a spreadsheet so I can keep track. That way, once I get the model into the Anycubic software, you simply go into the length, you go into the scaling, and which is in the placing part of the software, and put in what the 1/87th scale dimensions are, and it will reduce the file or model down, and you move it around on the plate. Once you have that done for one set of files, for instance on the Cougars it's just one file. For the Daytona Dodges, you have the body, you have the chassis, you have tires, so you got to get one set of all the files resized. Once you do and placed on the build plate part of the software, and once you have that done, then you can take all of those and copy them and add them so that you have more identical models on the same build plate. As I said, you know, I can get 5 of these Cougars onto a build plate. Okay? Hopefully that all makes sense. I'll try to put some pictures, flash some screenshots in here as we go. So after it prints, and each of my builds here, as an example, took about an hour, plus or minus. Once they have that, then they go into the alcohol bath as part of the washer. And yeah, I did those for 10 minutes. Then they come out of that and you put them in the hardener, which is the UV lights, right, for another 10 minutes. Then you have what we see here. So what is the next step? Well, we've got to cut these out from their supports. So what we're going to do is we're going to put new blades in my X-Actos. Okay? And I highly recommend new blades. I have not done this yet. You're watching it firsthand. And there's 2 blades here. And I have 2 X-Actos of this size. One smaller one. And if we can get this done without any blood, it will be a good deal, right? Just trying to make sure there's only 1 blade here, and it is. So that one's done and ready. This also is a larger one. These are number 2 blades. All right. So we have both of these knives ready to go. Plus I have one of the smaller ones for more detailed work. And I think it's a good blade, but we're going to replace it anyway. And this is a number 11. Oh, I got 2 by mistake. I'm going to use the bigger knives just because more firm. Now if I find I'm having difficulty getting into some spots, then I'll switch over to the smaller one and see if it helps. So, out of the 51 here, we got 1. So now we have to get the rest, or at least a number of these. We'll probably do 5 of each, and then we'll do some painting. So hang tight and let me get the rest of these ready, cut out. Okay, so here we can see various stages with fresh prints, such as this one, which is a 66 Impala, or 67 perhaps. And I have drilled holes in the bottom so that I can attach a toothpick and use it to hold the item during painting. Have some foam here that I can stick the toothpicks into to let them dry. And these have all been primed with some Krylon, Glacier Gray, matte Glacier Gray, which is also a primer. All right. In addition to these two stages, we'll go over to the workbench and take a look at the next stage after these. These have all been painted as of yesterday, a variety of colors. And since these are going on primarily on Autoracks, I'm not going to be too particular. I'll just put the mist paints on the lower level where nobody can see things like the back of this 69 Dodge Charger. After this stage, I will begin printing some of the details, such as the tires, painting them black, putting in the chrome work, and painting the windshields, probably silver for the most part, except maybe on the silver or white vehicles. I may paint them black. We'll see. And I have chrome pins that I can use for the chrome work, and I'll use a little bit of red spots, red paint for the taillights. So with that, hang tight and we'll get after the next stage of doing some of the detail work.
All right, so it's been a few days and gone through numerous steps in the assembly line process on these cars. As you can see, looking down here, we have some that are simply primed. We have others with their first coat of paint on them. And then we have some finished product. 69 Dodge Charger. And are they as nice as what the store bought, like Oxford diecast? No, honestly, no. But they're background cars and they're meant for being in Autoracks, not under heavy scrutiny, so to speak. But they go through, in the case of this one, 6 different painting procedures, at least 6. You've got the primer, the base coat, you got flat black on the tires, you've got silver on the wheels, you've got gloss black on the windows, you've got chrome, you've got white vinyl top, and then you have red for the taillights. So in this case, there's 8 steps. All right. And we have roughly a little over 40 complete. And we'll move on and get through the rest of these. But as of now, I'm really pleased. We're going to start putting some of these on some Autoracks utilizing packing glue. All right. So hang tight and we'll get them on there and let's take a look.
All right, so we added a third auto rack to the consist there, and making 30 vehicles, filling our auto racks, and 30 vehicles at, let's just say, $15 as an average. That's $450. I got the printer, the wash station, 4 bottles of resin, all for $408. So I have 100 vehicles here still to finish painting up. So we've gotten more than our money out of the expenditure on the resin printer. So with that, I want to thank you for joining me here at episode 55 of Workbench Wednesday. I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.